Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bring It Dawn. So I found Krennic in Dresden off camera. Super easy to do. He has a purple marker on the map over here next to Camellia. The hood of Krennic's cloak is lowered even more than usual, with his body frozen as if he were trying to merge with the wall. Finding one little kobold in such a big fortress couldn't have been an easy feat, but you've succeeded. Because you're marked on the map. I've got suspicions about you. Here we go. I come in friendship and right away I'm distrusted. So what is it that's got you worried? You hinted that there was a traitor in my inner circle, and then it turned out that Nura was the traitor. The kobold waves off your comment. So there's a spy amidst the top officers of the Crusade. What a surprise. You know, it would have been really odd. The demons hadn't sent an agent to kill you. What if I told you the demons are going to try to kill you every time they see you, and they're going to try to conquer Galarian? Are you going to suspect me of being in league with Baphomet and Discari now, just for stating the obvious? Well, I suppose not. Alright, let's go talk to Anevia.
Ready for anything.
And we have a few other Crusade alerts as well to take care of. Commander, never agreed to with a slight nod. I have some information for you. The one I found out is mostly innocent. It might be a cause for concern. Now tell me. Soldiers have been gathering in the graveyard to play cards. We usually turn a blind eye to such things. Though it's against regulations, we let them enjoy themselves as long as they don't cause too much trouble. And that's usually the case. But recently, my people have noticed Social among them, and the gambling seems to be having an unhealthy effect on him. As you know, I usually keep my nose out of other people's affairs. Keep my nose. I never heard that phrase before. With all these spies and cultists, I have too much on my plate as it is. But this time, about someone you trust with your life. So maybe you should do something about it. This isn't an official report. It's a tip-off from a friend. Now, thank you for the information. You're welcome. Sealkind. Before you stands a tall, fit man, whose dark hair is already tinged with gray. He greets you with a brisk military salute. My name is Captain Sealkind. I command the vanguard of a mercenary group called the Blackstone Company. We come from Daeran to assist you. I want to know more about your unit. The Blackstone Company is proud to be recognized as one of the finest Daeran mercenary regiments. We're not a bunch of unscrupulous sellswords looking to oppress the innocent and serve the tyrants of the world. No. We're adventurers eager to get involved in a dangerous enterprise and leave with pockets full of gold, and a clear conscience. Which is why we held a vote among our units. We're glad to accept Queen Galfrey's invitation to join the Crusade, though some of our commanders, did voice their displeasure with the sum she offered. But like I said, Randorans are free people who cannot be pushed around and who cannot be bought, only convinced. Why do you join up with us? King Galfrey paid for our services, but please do not think we're fighting for gold alone. We are true sons and daughters of Daeran, so the ideals of equality and resisting enslavement ring true in our hearts. We'll be glad to stand in the way of the demons, who seek to force mortal kind into bondage. The bulk of our company made camp in Nerosian, but the vanguard, consisting of our finest soldiers if I may add, was put under your command. I want to know more about you, Captain Sealkind. The man flashes a genuine smile. I don't even know what to say. I'm a soldier, a bit of an explorer, and just an all-around honest man. Well, get on with your duties. Yes, sir. Glad to be under your command. Captain Sealkind salutes you again, smiles, and adds in a softer voice. It'll be an honor to serve with you, Commander. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need to talk, I'd be happy to lend an ear. Earbeth said that we are under threat from demons with unusual abilities. Like that Nabasu that attacked your army at the Lost Chapel. They're very powerful, and they're growing in number. You haven't found out where they're coming from, have you? Rushale looks around shyly and continues, lowering her voice, as if entrusting you with a personal secret. I'm not sure, but I think I have a lead. I know where to find someone who can lead us to the source of their power. How do I know it's a her already? Who are you talking about? A hag by the name of Daeran. She used to live here before the fall of Sarkoris. When the demons invaded this world, she happily took their side. The old cannibal knows many secrets. You just have to make her talk. Does this Daeran also have special powers? Her? I doubt it. But still, be careful. She's a very old, very slight creature. She's incredibly dangerous. Where can I find her? The place is called the Green Gates. I'll show you how to get there. Long ago, before the World Wound, there was a Sarkorian fortress there. The Crusaders built a small chapel. But for many, many years, the place has been home to nothing but abomination and squalor. How did you find out about this? Ursula quickly looks at the faces of those present and seems to curl in on herself. Quietly, almost whispering, she says, "That is a long story. I'll tell you when we get there, alright? Well, thanks for the tip." Happy to help. It's just... Ursula looks around cautiously again and lowers her voice. You won't go there without me, will you? I want to personally make sure this monster doesn't escape you. The overwhelming fragrance of roses hits you as soon as you enter the headquarters. Roses occupy every inch of available space. A fresh and sweet smelling, they had just come into bloom. The scene is capped off by Daeran, who stands at the center of this rosarium, with a single red rose in his hand, an expression of utter innocence on his face. Ah, Don Quixote, it's so good you dropped by. As you can see, I've been working on a little something. I'm afraid some of your advisors are less than happy about it. Sure, if by a little something, I mean an entire shipment of freshly cut roses, teleported here from some southern country. Airbus shifts from foot to foot, glaring at the flowers pressing in from all sides. You could have outfitted an entire unit with the money you spent on this. Fortunately, they were my own personal funds, so I spent them as I saw fit. This gloomy citadel needed an injection of beauty. Daeran brings his crimson rose to his face and inhales its scent, his eyes never leaving yours. That's none of my business, of course. I've known you a long time, Daeran Arende. This whole thing looks like another scandalous stunt concocted to rile up the Crusaders. You're going to pay court to the commander. Don't do it in our headquarters. Okay, so I think I accidentally romanced Daeran. Which would make things really awkward since I'm trying to romance his cousin instead. Though then again, with being a Dampier, maybe romancing a Rochelet might be the way to go. If we can. I mean, I don't mind being courted in our headquarters. I, for one, have no problem being courted in our headquarters. A tragic misunderstanding has occurred. Daeran pauses while continuing to cast delighted glances at you over his nose. Or his rose. The thing is, I had no intention whatsoever of courting the commander in the romantic sense of this word. It never even crossed my mind. I do not know what led you to such a farcical conclusion. Daeran holds the rose with the utmost delicacy, waving it gently from side to side. According to recent research conducted by Absalom scholars, the scent of roses reduces stress and fatigue, refreshes one's thoughts, and stimulates intellectual activity. So I only had the good of the Crusade in mind when I placed these flowers here. My actions were entirely selfless and sincere. Okay, we can cut it off right now. Daeran, let's get this straight. I have no romantic interest in you whatsoever, so please stop this non-courtship. Unless this is part of his companion quest. I want to assume that it's not. You're breaking my heart. Although, Airbeth's irritated face is enough to convince me that my time and money have not been spent in vain. Ah. Daeran bows and takes his leave. Grandma Gretlin lowers herself into a bow. Good day, your commandership. It is we, the artistic board of the Next Door Theater. We are still working on our piece about your heroism. We've even taken on a few new crew members. We now have a master of stage equipment and scenery. It's my granddaughter Tina. Tina, say hello to his commandership. But we're faced with another dilemma. We simply can't decide on a climactic moment for the act that's all about the Battle of Dresden. Here, you listen to the options. Grandma Gretlin holds a scroll up before her eyes and begins to read, running a gnarled finger along each line. Option 1. The commander, so that's you, launches himself out of a catapult and smashes down the fortress wall, allowing the armies to rush inside. Option 2. The commander, so that's you again, masquerades as a succubus and creeps into Dresden in disguise, then opens the gates to the Crusaders. Option 3. The commander, so that's you again, rides to the attack on an enormous mountain goat, or should we call it a battering ram, and it breaks down the city gates. But what say you? But I don't ride a goat. That's right, but, how should I put it? It seemed important for us to portray you as a rider, and the goat is a kind of metaphor. You like the version where I ride on the back of an enormous mountain goat, but where are you going to get a goat of that size? We're still working on that part, your commandership. It's hard to get a goat in the middle of the world wound, especially an enormous one. But we'll think of something, don't you worry. Grandma Gretlin and her entourage move away, but their voices project so well that you can easily hear the rest of their conversation. The rest of the conversation. Do you think the commander will mind if we add the goat and the catapult to the show? That way, the bit where he breaks down the gates will make for much better drama. Did you forget that the role of the commander is being played by a Cyclops? How are we going to launch Lambkin out of a catapult? We're going to find a catapult that won't just break under his weight. Calm yourself, Tina. It's just a minor snag. You can't achieve success without a few difficulties along the way. We'll think of something. You'll see. I don't want a catapult. Captain Harmattan. Hail, Commander. Before you, an aged yet fit and sturdy Garundi stands at attention. His dark skin has an earthy tone to it, and crystals sparkle forth from where his hair and eyebrows should be, clearly identifying him as an Orion. Captain Harmattan, chair of your staff council by order of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey, here to deliver a report. On this council too, Tila salutes briskly. We'll be racking our brains on how to improve troop morale. I reckon the key is to back up our words with actions. Lead your soldiers by example, and they'll be eager to follow. During my experience as a paralictor, my advice is to maintain calculated moderation in every regard, be it an incentive or penalty, and to be decisive. We have no need for doubts or turmoil. I'm doomed to be your advisor, but do you know what that means? You are doomed to listen to my advice. To start things off, here's an incredibly novel and deep thought for you. Loyalty, passion, and morale. All of these can easily be bought with money. Commander, permission to report. We've encountered a problem. Although we're still getting volunteers, we're now seeing cases of desertion. Many who joined the Dresden campaign believe that their duty has been fulfilled with the victory. They're not keen on staying on the garrison. Those from Canabras wish to return home and rebuild their ruined city. Lastly, there are those who are afraid of lingering in a place where demons might show up with a retaliatory expedition at any moment. My suggestion is to improve living conditions for the privates, raise their pay, give them extra rations, reward those who have distinguished themselves on the battlefield with commendations and gifts. Soldiers don't want to leave armies that appreciate them. I feel for those folks. We have to convince them to stay. I think we might get some help from the servants of the gods. They'll tell the soldiers that the danger is not yet past, and inspire them to keep up the fight against evil. As long as the wound is open, the whole world is in danger. We can't just go home and live like we used to, no matter how badly we want that to happen. Most of the Crusaders are volunteers, but they have no right to subvert military discipline. That kind of attitude is tantamount to treason, regardless of who expresses it. We have to identify the instigators, arrest them, and administer harsh punishment, make an example of them. Now, this problem is quite simply solved with coin, but handing money out to privates is practically throwing it away. We need to pay the officers handsomely, and they'll figure out how to raise their subordinates' morale. That's a good way to get corruption in your ranks. That's a terrible idea. Now tell me, Captain, what does the staff council do? In short, we make sure that whenever orders are given, they're executed properly. Our job is to keep the soldiers' morale high, so they always follow their officers' commands without question. As for the officers themselves, we look out for any unseemly or incompetent types who subvert the troops' trust. I have questions for the Council. Understood, Commander. Ask away. Tilo, what do you bring to the Council? It's pretty self-explanatory. We're not fighting for a sawmill here. This is a crusade against the Abyss. When you're up against demons, you bring a paladin. It's a rule that's tried and very much true. Regil, what kind of help can I expect to get from you on this council? I have extensive experience being in command, and as a Hell Knight, I possess a firmness that some of your other officers may be lacking. The essence of my council is not to spoil your troops, but to maintain their discipline strategically. Amidst the chaos of war, a general has to be a beacon of order and purpose for their soldiers. They'll be just as grateful to receive rewards or lashes from such a general, and most importantly, they won't even think to disobey their orders. Daeran, what are you doing on this council? Mostly I'm just waiting for it to end, but since I have little choice, I'll give you some advice on how to charm your subordinates, be they people of importance or simple commoners. I'll tell you the biggest secret straight away, free. Money. Gold has the most miraculous power there is. Captain Harmadan, why did the Queen appoint you to preside over this council? I'd been in the Osirian infantry for 100 years, fighting for 3 pharaohs. Then, after I joined the Crusaders, I served Her Majesty Galfrey for 2 more decades. I dare to hope that I've gained decent experience over those years. I see. We're glad to serve. Alright, so I am against Daeran's idea. And that will create corruption in the ranks. Actually, hold on. Oh wait, so I have to actually hover over this. That requires... Alright, so this doesn't require any sort of resources. I don't think this one does either, right? Yeah, so I'll probably do this one. Because I don't agree with Daeran's approach anyway. Regil's doesn't make sense for volunteers because they can just up and leave if you start making them angry. So those 2 are out already. And his costs resources, so I'm obviously going to go with Sila's, because it's free. Now let's discuss our options in further detail. As you command. Sila, what's your plan? The situation is not that dire. Morale is high, and we just won a major victory. Some have to let down their guards. We have to call for priests and paladins to get it through to the volunteers, but it's still early for celebration. They leave for their homes today, Dresden will fall again tomorrow, and the day after, the demons will show up on their doorstep. Servants of the gods are indeed the masters of sweet-talking others into dying free of charge, all through pretty words. When the choice comes down to inspired preaching or homemade pies, 9 of every 10 will look for comfort in their home and at their table. Their incentive needs to be more substantial than wasted breath. Regil, what do you suggest? There's no place in the army for the mindset of playing soldier today, then going home tomorrow. These dangerous ideas must be suppressed with the utmost harshness. We'll identify the most vocal rabble-rousers, and exact punishment on them as an example to others. They may be volunteers. They join the ranks of the Crusaders. We can't abet in their rejection of their responsibilities. We'll be heading toward complete chaos, and therefore defeat. That's a great plan. You want your soldiers to run back home twice as fast. They came here of their own volition. We must convince them to stay, not terrorize them into fighting. Daeran, your opinion, please. Our forces are in good spirits. It's just that the euphoria of victory has gone to a few heads. No one can sober them up quicker than the officers, especially those of lower rank. We give our deaf oafs, all those sergeants and corporals, a bonus on the sly, then promise to sweeten the deal once they've convinced the volunteers to stay. Perhaps they will do so over a beer mug. Or maybe with a broken nose. Why bother solving problems yourself when you push them off on someone you pay? Your Bart loyalty will run out even sooner than your gold. When soldiers turn into profiteers instead of following orders, they start praising them. They wonder whether or not it's worth their while to obey their general. I hardly need to explain the effect this will have on discipline. Captain Harmiton, what would you advise? The volunteers believe that we've almost won. Great. Let's not ruin this pretty illusion. Instead, we'll turn it to our advantage. We'll increase rations and pay for the privates, rewarding the most distinguished commendations and gifts. Would abandon the victors when they provide you with good food and even better coin. It's naive to expect the troops will understand that we would just be trying to appease them. An army cannot stand if it's held together by handouts and desperate promises. We shouldn't lie to our soldiers. We build up flimsy illusions now. The demons will shatter them later. Those fighting alongside us must recognize the seriousness of the situation, instead of celebrating victory when the war has just begun. Thank you. Everything is clear. What are your orders? Sila, mobilize the priests and the paladins to raise awareness. A sure thing. Faith has always helped me in my darkest hours. It'll help our soldiers too. We just need to talk to them from the heart. Thank you, Commander. Should any other difficulties arise that require your attention, I'll deliver a new report promptly. Okay, so what do we have here? It's a main archery range, a place for crusaders hone their shooting skills and become proficient archers. Smithy. The armor that will see the crusaders to victory is crafted here, to the sound of ringing hammers and roaring fires. Also a bonus to attack for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. Only one smithy can be built in each fort except Dresden. So forts, I guess they're these, right? Okay. So disclosing the letters obtained from Krennic. The couple of Krennic provided the commander with letters implicating a number of prominent individuals in Erosian and having connections with the demons. These people were plotting against the Crusade, impeding supply shipments, and striving to discredit the commander. The disclosure of these letters will put an end to their conspiracy. Finance points income increases by 50, material points income increases by 5. I'll take care of that. Okay, so I'm guessing we should probably just start back here, right? Fill out all the forts on our way to Dresden. Let me build 4 things. So an alchemist laboratory. Plus 10 bonus to energy for all generals. Citadel increases the time of the siege of the fort by 3 days. Only one citadel can be built in each fort. I shouldn't have to build that behind Dresden, right? I assume they have to get through Dresden to get back to this point. So a garrison archery range increases recruitment growth for the main archery range by 25%. Only one garrison archery range can be built in each fort. Garrison barracks increases recruitment growth for the main barracks by 25%. Garrison stables increases recruitment growth for the main stables by 25%. Hospital provides a 5% bonus to infirmary size for all generals. And increases finance points income by 200. There are no buildings to provide recruitment growth in the fort. Supply center increases material points income by 3. A watchtower provides all allied units within the fort's area of control a +1 bonus to attack, armor class, saving throws, and initiative. I honestly have no idea what to build. Let's start with Dresden. Get an idea of how many slots we have. Oh, we have a ton of slots. Okay. So we have a smithy already, main barracks, arsenal, and a main archery range. Oh, we built a lot more stuff than it showed. Okay. No, it showed what we already had built. Okay. Okay. So Apothecary provides a +10 bonus to hit points for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. Oh, not Apothecary. Okay. Provides a +1 bonus to army class for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. What's over here? Supply center. Citadel increases the time of the siege. Okay, don't need that. Engineer's Workshop reduces the cost of building construction by 10%. I mean, I think we'll get most bang for a buck by putting this down first, right? Oh, we can't afford the Hall strategy. Provides a +1 bonus to attack and defense and a +2 bonus to power for all generals. That's pretty good. So I'll probably focus on like the unique buildings in Dresden, and then put all like the generic stuff in like the forts leading up to Dresden. Pathfinder Society Lodge provides a +1 bonus to attack, armor class, and saving throws for all mercenary units. Okay. Next rank increases energy points income by 4. Maybe I should get some of these too, like the actual like resource generators first, because we're not struggling with the army yet. A shelter allows the commander's party to rest in the fort without increasing the effect of the abyssal corruption. Teleportation circle. Oh. I don't have another one to place yet, so it's not super expensive. So it uses up all of our material points though. Turning Grounds provides a +10% bonus to damage for all trainable units in adjacent buildings. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and slap this down. Oh, we still have the watchtower too. Not super worried about it. I'm gonna put a hospital back in one of the other forts. All the way back here. I don't know if it's a good idea to spend all of our resources like that. But it's done, so I guess too bad. Looks like we're gonna have Grey War with us for a while. We've got a good ways to go westward. We do need a rest. We are tired.
I know the way.
Hey ho, the dairy-o with his cheeks aflame and his trues down low. I I can't get that tune out of my head. Damn tavern songs.
All right. Sorry, Regil. I think I'd much rather have you in our party, but we need Greyboar for the quest. Now I can finally give him his mythic. Okay. We have Last Stand first, since his equipment isn't that great. I mean, yeah. Do Mythic Sneak Attacker, why not? I should probably be reading these, right? So your Sneak Attacks deal an additional 1 to 6 damage. Can't go wrong with that. And then here we'll get Thundering Blows for the guaranteed damage. Alright, first place we're gonna go... I kind of just prioritize this. This will make me go through this, isn't it? Actually, where do I need to go for... Oh, shoot. Nope, we're going to deal with What's-His-Face's quest first. We have 2 things to do in Dresden still. Then I'm actually going to go northeast next to the hilltop, Commander's Hilltop, whatever it's called. The thing Ivu told us about. So Social's here. I don't know where the graveyard's at. Also not nighttime. Don't know if we actually have to wait till nighttime to speak to him about it or not. We'll see. Maybe he'll just invite us along for a game of cards. But either way, we'll figure that out next time. I'm going to call it here. Next episode, we'll try and take care of Social's quest. We also have battered something inside the Citadel itself that we'll take care of. Then hopefully we'll head northeast, start exploring the areas around Dresden. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.